behind this?
Like, who knows, right?
Who knows?
Who
Zero
knows
watching.
anything? Are they live? I have no idea.
They might be. Could be live.
Who knows, right? But if
Someone
they're live,
stumble across us.
yeah, I feel that.
But it's also it's just going to become content as well, right?
Well, that's really what it comes down to. And people think that this is like us making a mistake, but the reality is we're actually
doing.
We know we're live. How about that? We know that we're live.
Doing this.
We know we're live.
We're actually doing this.
Dude, we're doing it. Drum Geek. We're Drum Geek, by the way, in case you're wondering.
We're Drum Geek.
The Drum Geek. So wait, are we live on the Instagram too? Cool.
Yeah. I think that's really good because, oh yeah, there we are.
Are we there?
I'm just going to check it out, but yes.
Dude, we're doing it.
Drum Geek Nation.
Yeah. Well, hey everybody.
See it, but
How we doing there, folks?
Reels maybe?
No.
I don't know where we're live on the Instagram, but anyway.
Well, let's hey everybody, how we doing? Let's take this down and let's do it. You want to get rid of that thing?
Yep.
Let's just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it, that's what I say.
What is that? There it is.
Yeah.
Ah,
Hey everybody.
there we are.
Oh my god. Yes. Here, I'll do
God.
those. Just like all the other streams. You want this on in the background?
No.
You
Quietness.
You like quiet?
Oh, I love quiet.
Okay, we'll leave quiet down.
I'm a drummer. I love quiet. Right?
Do you genuinely love quiet?
I do. Oh my god. Like when I'm playing, I like lots of insanity and noise.
Yeah.
But I like it to be my insanity and noise. And then,
really? Okay, yeah.
And then once I'm done playing, the quieter the better.
I think I've told you, since moving to this city that I'm in right now, my number one complaint has been that it's too quiet. Like
coming from Vancouver.
Yeah, exactly. Like downtown Vancouver. Everybody's heard me ad nauseum. 20 years. Downtown Vancouver, by the way, for 20 years.
20 years.
20 years, by Jesus. Yeah, I'm used to I've been making the jokes that like, what I wouldn't give for more like gunshots or like ambulances or drunk people at 3 a.m. Like noise actually gives me a bit of comfort. It gives both my wife and I some comfort, but silence, it takes a while to get used to your body. I don't know, being comfortable with silence.
Yeah.
Do you find that you don't find that a challenge?
Oh God, no. In fact, I find now that I'm a dad and my day is surrounded by lots of noise and angry toddler and angry baby and like just this like tons of noise.
Yes.
Even more so now than it used to be. But yeah, as far as like, no, if I were to sleep at night, I'd probably like quiet.
Really?
Yeah. I lived briefly in Edmonton and I lived with someone who lived downtown. I didn't love it down there because it was really that the white noise of downtown.
Yes, which we love. Yes.
Yeah. But I could see why someone who's lived downtown somewhere long enough would, if they moved somewhere, say to like, Kelowna, and there was no noise.
Kelowna, what a weird place. Yeah.
Means whale's vagina.
That's good. True. Does it? I don't know if it does. Party.
But I could see how some people, like, if you live, for example, if you lived downtown New York and then you moved to like, I don't know, Syracuse.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right? You would be like, what the hell just happened? Did the world just end?
I hear that.
Because there's that connection of like the city that never sleeps. So I don't know. Yeah. But now, as far as if I were to choose, like when I used to play full time, I had earbuds that I would use for hearing protections, and then I actually didn't take those out. I would go sit in the green room and leave them in.
Really? Okay,
so that I could just be like, just have peace and quiet.
I guess that goes between like, sorry, that resonates with me in a different way. That whenever I played shows, even to this day, whenever I play shows, in between sets, I really love just sitting on my own with a drink. Cheers, by the way, buddy. Cheers.
Cheers. Yep. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.
Oh, look what we got. Oh my God, this is so exciting.
Who do we have?
Oh, I love it. Sorry for bothering us.
Oh,
they want to offer a promotion to the channel. Oh, you know as well as I do. These are the best.
Playful.
I'll be honest. I don't know the pricing of the competitor, so I need you to fill me in. Flexible and convenient order management panel. That's a good deal.
Well, thank you for joining us there, Playful Peist.
Thanks, Playful. I really love to sit alone in between sets and just either read a newspaper or just listen to music or just. I do like to be on my own between sets in silence. Weirdly enough, now that we're talking about how much I love noise, but it's only because there's been so much noise of playing drums, and heads up and watching what's going on and interacting with the audience. There's just a lot going on, doing shots of Jaeger, just whatever happens during the show. And then you just kind of get spit out after 45 minutes and you get thrown.
Yeah.
Back down to a cocktail table, and nobody knows I even played the show because I'm the drummer in the back.
Yeah,
does that resonate with you?
Oh yeah, totally. I really enjoyed the end of the night when I could go back to say a hotel room, or if I was at home, just in a peaceful place.
Yes,
and be like still sort of a little bit sweaty from the gig, but. It being quiet and then like just being in my surroundings. I used to really like that feeling. And then there was the odd time where I would go to like house parties afterwards, and it was fun too. But
you're going to house parties? You going to house parties there, bud?
I've been to a house party or two in my day.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Couple.
Two specifically. But sorry, do you appreciate even after the show that the night doesn't kind of end, or are you like, I'm out of here?
It probably depended where I was at, like in what band I was with. There was a band I was with that was quite active after the gig, and that we would go out a lot. Like to parties or to even one of my favorite places was across from or near a bar in Langley called Gabby's, I think. Okay. And it's called Zach's, and it was a Greek restaurant.
Greek, nice.
He was a fan of the bands that would play the bar across the street. Anyway, long story short, so he would close at like I think around 11. And then he had a side door entrance that if you were playing at Gabby's, you knew of this place, and you would go to the side door and just and you'd be let in.
Knock.
You would be let in, and so Zach would serve up special coffee. Yeah, it was Greek. He called it Greek coffee, but it was just your drink could poured into a coffee cup. So like if he had like 3 beers and then like rum and Coke and then something else, but that's
great combo.
Yeah. And you just sit there for like the rest of the night, and there'd be all kinds of I mean, there was people like famous, not famous, that have gone through there. Someone told me that there was one night I went, and I guess the night before Bryan Adams had been in there.
Oh, good old Briab.
Yeah. And his cook played the blaziki, the Greek guitar. His cook.
Zach's no, I don't care about the cook part. What did he play?
The blaziki.
What's a blaziki?
It's a Greek like a instrument. It's you hear it a lot in Greek music. It sounds kind of like it's like a really Mediterranean sounding mandolin almost. Yeah. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but yeah, it's like a kind of an old instrument by the sounds of it. But he'd sit there and he'd play like traditional Greek songs.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really neat. And then, of course, like you'd stay till 2 or 3 in the morning.
I think that's one of the things, I have to admit, you're hitting on a soft spot. It's one of the things I miss about Vancouver, living in the big city, is all those little underground places that people would go spill out to after a show. And whether it's, industrial music or whether it's jazz, whether it's blues, there's always these little places where, and as well as I do, especially in Vancouver is a good example, like the best place to play was like the Railway Club. There's lots of places to play. Let's be clear. There's lots of places. But I loved playing the Railway and having a set time of 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Because that's when everybody would they were ready to party. People were getting spilled out of every single club. And they would just come into there already geared up. They're already fifth gear, ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Great. But then there was these really good underground jazz, and that's what got me into improv music. There was these improv society and improv world that would happen at the end, like late at night in these unmarked doors that only you knew about.
Yep.
And it's really cool when you're part of those communities, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, can you imagine all the places that to this day exist in New York, but then that existed back in the day in the 70s, for example, and all the underground jazz clubs that, wow, total life of its own. And again, like party after parties, like I don't know how many times we went to biker clubhouses.
Yep.
And those are crazy. I mean, you have to behave yourself, and
well, unless you know people or unless you're packing a bit, but
but I've seen some crazy stuff there too.
Huh.
Yeah.
I guess that's a responsibility. I remember my dad was saying he was a touring musician as well, and he always said that there was a lot of shows, especially in the late 70s, that whenever they'd play a show somewhere, it could be a wedding, it could be anything, it wasn't unusual for somebody to come up in the audience and go, $500, come back to my place, party.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess, band, we're packing up, and we're right after this, we're going back to this party until 7 a.m, and people just keep giving you money to keep you playing the whole night, right?
Yep. Oh, there was more than once that I went to a biker club or a biker's clubhouse, I guess.
Yeah, clubhouse. Yeah.
In Calgary, and after our gig at 1:30, and there was a band starting it too.
Totally, yeah.
Well, on PA, and they were playing. Yeah, that was their gig for the night. That was their gig for the night. And like full bar, like real bar, and crazy.
It's such a great industry that we're in. That no matter what time of the day, except 11 a.m, nobody performs at 11 a.m,
unless you live in Vegas.
That's a good point, as a matter of fact. Yeah. That's a good point, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, a couple of friends that did the Vegas thing, and it was a hard go. They spent a long time trying to get down there, thinking it was going to be like, and it just ended up being such a grind. Like up at 10 for a showcase at 11 until like 4 in a casino.
Yeah,
and then you're tearing down, and then going to your night show, and then to top it all off, nobody's really listening to you.
True. You're literally background.
You're literally background music, yeah. And at the time, I think it was my buddy was transitioning from acoustic drums, and then had to finally just bite the bullet and get electronics because he was tired of the complaints.
Yes.
Right? Because you're not the main show. You're the...
Spoilers. No, you're not.
Yep. Sadness ensues. Yeah.
Well, okay. No. Well, yep. I love how it just ends up. Yep. Sadness.
Unless you're a famous band.
Like who?
Like I'm no good at this anymore. There we go.
I'm still getting used to restream here. Yeah.
Unless you're like these guys.
Who's that?
Now I know you're probably no Rush fan.
Oh, Gary. Good old Gary. I'm not a Rush fan, but I know Gary when I see a Gary. Yeah. And that's Gary.
So apparently, Getty has said on numerous occasions the possibility of a Rush reunion would be okay and would work.
Oh God, who would do it?
Well, I have thoughts on that.
Do you really?
I have. So first, let me
Dennis Chambers.
Let me sort of back
Vinny Caluta.
No, don't spoil it just yet. Here, I'm gonna show you who I think it
Mike
would be.
Portnoy.
And so what I'm gonna say is that but years and years and years ago,
yes, many years ago.
That's who I think could do it.
Well, let's be clear. He's not with Dream Theater.
Not with Dream Theater anymore. And if ever there was someone who could play those parts, and not only play those parts, if I may be so bold as to say, perhaps even elevate some selections, it would be Mr. Mangini.
I agree with you. He's so good.
Right? I've seen Mike live, and he is phenomenal. And I'm not taking away from Neil. Neil will
of course
forever be the heartbeat of Rush. All
to be
I'm
clear,
saying is
Neil. Everybody we're discussing right now is the hey, we got to compare two. So go for it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. This guy to me would do Neil justice, and I think could take Rush into another era, and I think he could do it because that's the reason he was brought into Dream Theater. Yes. And they mentioned that. They said because everyone they talked to was made aware that we are by no means replacing Mike Portnoy.
Correct.
He may come back, but he may not. And he's our brother. So whoever is stepping into this role knows you're just taking the football and you're moving it to the next line of scrimmage that we need you to move it to. That may be 2 years, that may be 5 years, that may be 10 years, that may be 15.
Yeah.
And Mike was the only guy that said, I can do that. I can move that ball. So
and he did.
And he did. He did it brilliantly.
Did you ever see Dream Theater live with Mike?
No, I haven't.
I did.
Did you really? With Mangini?
With Mangini. So I saw, I'm pretty sure it was their very first show. Oh, nice. Sorry to bother us.
Is everyone that watches us is a bot?
Sorry.
I guess, right?
Sorry to bother
you. Sorry to bother you guys.
Sorry. Is it no bother? It's no bother, decent. It's no bother at all.
Just tell me where to input my credit card number, and I'll be with you in a second here.
If you could DM us, we'll give you our credit card number.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that I saw the very first show. Hold on, classic me. I got story upon stories, Inception stories.
Done. Do it.
You're gonna need to wind me back to this situation, though. Here we go. I saw the very first show where Brain was the drummer for Primus.
Wow.
Right
after Herb quit.
Exactly. Brown Album, boom.
Yep.
And I saw the first show in Toronto with Brain. And here we go, more Inception. Do you know the band that opened for them on that tour?
I don't.
A little band that was rebranded from their original name. I don't know how to give this to you without spoiling anything. I saw it was their very first show ever under this name.
Okay.
Because they were opening for Primus on this tour. The Rainbow Butt Monkeys had just rebranded to the name Finger 11.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
Right?
Crazy.
Finger 11 opening for Primus, and Brain was it was his first gig. And we remember leaving going, holy shit.
Yeah.
That band Finger 11 was crazy good. We thought they were great. And then we discovered afterwards they were Rainbow Butt Monkeys. But anyways, Brain.
It's a good name change right there.
It kind of was. Yeah. Although they had a couple good singles. Brain, awesome. First show. You can see, especially in My Name is Mud.
Yeah. Oh, that would be the level you'd need to get to.
So less actually let Brain stew on stage for at least 5 minutes.
By himself.
Alone. Everybody left the stage. Herb, Les, exactly.
Yeah.
Left. And they just kind of watched him, and you could see the look on his face, like, "Are we doing this? Get back on stage. When are we doing this?" And it was just like this initiation moment, right? Where Les was like, "Bickety bickety bap, bickety bickety bap."
Yeah.
My name is Mud. And that's all it was just the drums. And then finally they ended the note, like the final note, after 5 minutes at least.
Wow.
And the place went crazy, and it was like, you elevated it. You've done Herb justice.
Yeah, totally.
You brought it, and we're ready for the show. It's amazing.
And the other side of that is that Les's bass adds so much percussiveness to that part.
Correct. Yeah.
Because of the way he strings that bass for that song. Right?
Exactly.
To play that naked is just yikes.
So the initiation was awesome. So fast forward to me seeing, I believe it was the very first show Mangini had ever played with Dream Theater.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it was obvious, but Mangini was heads up, eyes. I forget the keyboard player's name. I forget his name now.
Jordan Rudis.
Yeah, thank you. Watching him the whole time, and Mangini was not perfect. There was a whole bunch of over the bar line fills that were happening where he thought it was 7 and it was actually like 9, or it was like he was all over the place. But the brilliance of Mangini was that he knew when he, like, in that split second that he made the mistake and he rolled it back, and they laughed about it on stage, and they were just like, Mangini killed it. But it was obvious that there was a bit of initiation happening once again, where maybe they changed things on purpose just to literally mess with them, right?
Probably, yeah.
But Mangini, oh my God, we left there going, holy crap, Mangini elevated, like you said, this Dream Theater performance.
Yeah, and I hate, like, I mean, I loved Portnoy's playing with them, and I'm glad he's back in the fold. I know that whatever reasons he left, he had to do that. But I was like, once Mangini got in there and a couple albums under his belt, I was like, I don't know if you need Portnoy back.
Totally, like, right? It's just different. It's just different.
It's
fresh
Pepsi or Coke, right?
Totally.
So I was a Mangini guy. I listened to a little bit of Dream Theater before. This is my other thing too, why I think this is okay. And I know it's been a taboo subject within the drumming community because Neil died. So of course you're not going to talk about that. And Bon Scott passed away, and Brian Johnson stepped in a big way. And in fact, I would dare say more people know AC/DC as a result of Brian's voice, not because of Bon's voice.
That's a great point, as a matter of fact, yeah.
And same with, like, I know it's not the same, but Hagar and Roth, I mean, Freddie Mercury passed away, and Adam Lambert's doing a great job. So
yes. But I'm right now in particular, I'm thinking about Taylor Hawkins, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you go. Taylor is Dave Grohl's brother from another mother. If ever there was a Dave Grohl incarnate who had better technique than Dave, who was the controlled chaos guy.
Yeah.
And there's a reason he picked Taylor, because he's got Dave's insanity, Dave's intensity, Dave's brute force.
And he was the drummer for Alanis Morissette.
And that's why he got the gig. No,
that's true.
Because he has the finesse.
Yes.
He can contain that. And he has the absolute professional, like he'd be the guy that could outlast Grohl.
True.
Right? Like Taylor could keep going.
There's that classic, back in the day, I mean, like 80s and 90s, there were poster boys. Like everybody in the band was marketable. Everybody.
Oh yeah.
Everybody would have a Tico Torres picture in their video or in their locker, right?
Sure.
And we've kind of lost that as of recent. And we've talked about this before. Oh, where are you watching from? Oh God, I'm horrible. What flag is that? Oh no. Oh no, what flag is that?
I think that's Russia.
Oh, don't let us down.
That's that's Philippines.
Ver, tell us where you're from. Oh my God, it's the worst.
I think that's the Philippines. I think it's the Philippines. I don't know. Let me look.
So to bring in Josh Free, Philippines. You're the big winner.
Yeah.
Well, welcome, Ver. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh yeah, thanks, Ver.
Nice. We're just talking about the potential replacement, which is a high tier word, of Neil Peart for a potential tour.
I think if ever someone would do it, I think it's going to be Mike Mangini.
Now look, if we're putting our poker chips on a drummer, I have to admit, one of my favorite guys, in the prog world, is my boy Gavin Harrison.
Yeah, I agree, and
he's doing
no
some
slight
good
against
stuff with
Gavin.
Pineapple Thief, though, but he's a little busy. He's a busy.
He's also got Porcupine Tree. Just came out with
Porcupine Tree
too.
And Pineapple Thief as well.
Now, there's a reason why that would work, because he's an introvert like Neil was.
True.
He's not very friendly. He's not very personable. So I think it would work in that context. However, the other side of that is apparently Neil was that way in public, but he and Alex and Geddy were best of friends backstage.
Of course, yeah.
So I don't know how well that would play out. Is he introverted around them, or is he? Because to me, if Geddy and Alex were to do it, they would have to really get along with this person.
Well, right? We've talked about it probably we have talked about it before. Touring is
still a very big spot to fill. You're right.
Super. Touring is not about can you play the tunes. It's can I tolerate this person in a tour bus for 6 months? Exactly. That's really what touring is about, right?
Exactly.
So I could feel that, and that's kind of why I understand why Josh Freese was picked up. Just to harken back to what we were saying earlier, Josh Freese was picked up to replace Taylor Hawkins. Is that they're of the same ilk, the same type of high energy, the same enough that Dave would be like, "Can I be on a tour bus with Josh for a while?" Yes. I don't know if you've ever seen Josh's Instagram page, but he keeps taking photos of himself in airport or in airplane bathrooms eating food. It's really fun.
Yeah.
He's great, super high energy, and I love him.
Yeah.
He is a good fit for that situation.
He's a great fit, and he's a different type of energy. But you're Mangini to me, and here's the thing: the feeling I got from that, like when I saw someone posted that Geddy had talked about when they retired on 2015. Yeah, I'm just going to put Mike's face up there in case I want to use this as a clip. And like when Mike gets hired to do the Rush tour,
then it's like I told you so situation.
Just heard it first. I clicked on this link, and it said that Geddy had some animosity towards Neil because they weren't ready to close it down on 2015.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now this is prior to Neil finding out about his cancer. He was not diagnosed until 2018. But he was already ready to be done in 2015, and he apparently became a librarian at his kid's school.
Really?
And that he just wanted to do the dad thing, right?
I love it. Yeah.
And so he was kind of digging life, and Geddy had taught and said Geddy admitted I had a lot of animosity because he was done. He did not want to keep going, and I wanted to keep going. Now, of course, then the diagnosis comes, and Geddy said like so much had so much guilty feelings around that now that Neil's sick and blah blah blah. But now we're 3 years past Neil's passing, and lots of people have mentioned, I guess, to Geddy around his effing life tour.
Yep.
They would love to see it. They would love to see a tour. I also would think too that Neil, I think, would want them to do that. I think he was a really selfless person from what I understand from some people I know that knew of him or knew people he knew.
Yes.
I think he was a very selfless person, and I think he would have supported had he not passed, had he just said, "No, I'm done performing, so you guys go ahead." I think he would have done that. I think they would have gone to him and he would have said, "No, I'm good. I'm good." And so then when I started thinking about this, I'm like, yeah, that's such a taboo subject, though, because I thought about bringing it up for the stream, and I was like, it's pretty taboo. But when I read that Paul McCartney said to Geddy, I think you guys should keep going. If you're not done, you need to keep going.
Yes.
And again, Paul's lost two big members of his band, and they kept going. So I mean,
under what pretenses did they move forward though? Because they have a massive catalog. Is he just like, well, I'm not working at Starbucks, so I might as well tour and play some music,
right?
Like,
yeah. I mean, I
some people
think,
just don't know how to stop, and that's okay.
Yeah. No.
That's okay. But
I think when there's more music, I think especially Getty and Alex apparently have gotten together and jammed together and have discussed what that would look like going out as Rush. Because, like, let's be honest. Getty and Alex, you can go out, not call it Rush, and call it like the Life's in Lee project.
Look, we talked about it before, even with Queen, right?
Yeah.
Is that when Adam Lambert, did you ever see Queen, by the way, with Adam Lambert?
Oh yeah.
Well, not live, show.
But I've seen.
Have you?
I saw Paul Rogers too.
True. I saw them live with Adam Lambert. And dude, it slayed. It was so good. Because Adam Lambert said, song 2, he came out and said, I'm not here to replace him. I'm not here to emulate him. We're all here to celebrate him. And I'm just going to do my best to sing the songs the way I know how to sing them. Let's go.
Absolutely.
And the moment he lowered everybody's defenses, that he's no Freddie Mercury, he's not hitting the notes the way. The moment he lowered the defenses, everybody just partied and had a great time. Yeah. I'll be honest, if they had a Rush tour where they had 16 different drummers that just came out and played as a celebration of Neil, it'd be amazing. And they just celebrate. Nobody's here to replace and play it exactly the way he is. We're here to celebrate him. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that would be great as a one-off, but I think if they did a tour, I think they would have to pick someone, and it would have to be someone like that guy.
Like that guy? Okay. So
But again, and then once you had, say, I think I mark my words. I think they're going to do another album. They're going to do another album
with Steve Smith.
With Mangini. No, I don't think Steve Smith.
Is that going to be Steve Smith?
No, not going to be Steve Smith. And here's why. Here's why I'm going to double down on this. Yeah. And I've had a couple of wines, so I'm going to tell you the truth here.
A couple wines. I still don't know what the wines.
Couple sips. So this was, I forget, this was in the 90s. And I was a big Van Halen fan when Hagar got in.
Yeah.
I liked 1984 and I liked David Lee Roth. But
I'm a Hagar fan, 100% Hagar fan.
Yeah.
That's my era.
I got into them hard in the 90s.
The Balance album is so good. Dude, that will divide a room. That will literally divide a room.
Yeah, you could start fights this way. Not number one suggesting Rush is going to tour without Neil, and then number 2 saying I'm a Hagar fan.
I'm a Hagar. Everybody in chat right now is just going to explode. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
So basically, yeah. So I had heard that Hagar was out of Van Halen. I was like, no. And at the time, I remember I was in Prince George. We were on tour with we were at a bar band.
Yeah.
And someone had said Hagar got fired from Van Halen. I was like, no way. That's not possible.
He can't drive 55.
He can't drive 55. What are they doing? Yeah. So then I was like, of course, you didn't have the internet, or you didn't necessarily, you had the internet, but you didn't have like news.
Mass communication.
So we had to we found a local, a music mag or whatever that was carrying the story. And so whatever.
That's Billboard magazine.
Billboard magazine.
Yeah, 100%.
So then, so that's fine. And probably like 8 or 9 months was to go by. And I said at one point, and I it's like the same feeling I had right before I saw the Geddy Lee story about him saying that this is a doable thing. Yeah. I had this like thing where I was like, I wonder if Mangini could ever fill the shoes of a Rush tour. Like, I wonder if that would be cool, actually. And then like 3 days later, I saw the thing that Rush is like, yeah, it's not off the table. Ooh. This is the same feeling I had when I heard Hagar got fired. I said to my keyboard player, Brent, and I could even try and find him, and he can back me up.
Verification.
Yeah. I said, Brent, and this was just out of like, had this feeling. I was like, Brent, you know who I think would be a great replacement for Sammy Hagar? He's like, who? I said, Gary Cherone from Extreme. He would be a singer for Van Halen.
You predicted that?
Dude, 6 months out. 6 months later, we're in the same band house in Prince George, and Brent comes in with this big shit-eating grin, and he's got a paper with him.
Yeah.
His breakfast, and he's looking at us. We're in the kitchen. He's just smiling. I was like, "What? What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, this is big." And he's, "What's going on?" He goes, and at the time, my nickname was Rip. He goes, "Rip, you called it." And I was like, "Called what?" And he opens the paper, and it says, "Gary Cherone is the new singer for Van Halen."
Wow.
No.
Now,
really?
do you think Butterfly Effect, you made that happen?
I might have.
You might have. You may have talked to one person, who talked to another person, talked to another person.
Yeah.
And all the way ripple.
I said it on. I did say it on stage that night. Or the night that I had said it to Brent.
Thousands of people heard it, and then they all went, "Yeah, he's right."
We were playing at the Generator in Prince. No, sorry, the Generator. Actually, we had just seen I Mother Earth for free because they were
nice.
They were nobody at the time.
Yeah,
and they opened with One More Astronaut. I was just like, how are these guys not famous? Jesus.
Totally.
We felt embarrassed going over to our gig, and like when we went to our gig, and we said we just saw a band at the Generator that we're embarrassed to be playing right now to a bunch of people, and they have no people.
Yeah. Dude, I love that. That's good.
Yeah, that's the long
so you guessed it. That's really good. You made it happen. Let's be clear. You made it happen. I like that. Do you guys think it was offered initially to Mike Portnoy, but he rejected and offered the deal to Mangini, and one consequence he leaves Dream Theater? Just a theory. Well, it was rejected and offered a deal to Mangini. Oh, for a Dream Theater.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know the politics on why he wasn't, but the entire audition process was public for everybody that auditioned for Dream Theater. Yeah. And it was, go for it.
Virgil Donati.
Oh my God. People.
Thomas Lang.
Yes.
Was in there. Roddy.
Nope.
Roddy.
Oh, Rod. Oh my God.
He's a metal guy.
Dream Theater auditions.
Derek Roddy.
Derek Roddy is who I was thinking of. Yes,
was in there too.
So I got to write nose.
Yeah. Virgil Donati would have been again.
Marco Minimum. That's who I was thinking of.
Marco Minimum.
Achilles Priester.
Yeah. These are all potentials as well for the for the Rush thing. But
okay, let's pull this up.
You're talking hangability here.
Yes. So let me do this. Let me pull up just to keep on the Rush situation here, right? Mangini was kind of the guy the choice between all those other drummers in the auditions, and we encourage you should check out on YouTube all these Dream Theater auditions because they were all crazy good. Like Virgil Donati killed it.
Oh God.
Virgil.
I think even Mangini would tell you he wasn't the best drummer at the event, but
yeah.
No, I'm not gonna lie. He was the
boogada. So good.
He was the best drummer.
I want to bring this up is that I just did a quick Rush or a Reddit search.
Yeah.
And this is the first thing that showed up, and I didn't read any of the comments yet. But let's see if we agree with them. If Rush ever toured again, what drummer would you want to see play with the band? Here we go.
Oh, okay.
Jason Bonham? I don't know.
No, he's with Sammy.
There are hundreds of drummers could pull it off. You weren't looking at them, couldn't tell the drummer. Simon Phillips or Bozzio. That's interesting. Terry Bozzio?
Bozzio would be interesting. Yes, he would be very interesting. Yeah. I'm wondering about the chemistry, though.
Yeah. None. Rush is finished well enough. Stuart Copeland. Stuart's a great player, but yeah.
No, not.
That's what the girl said about Taylor Hawkins, and now they're on tour with a new drummer. Taylor would want us to continue.
Absolutely.
What else are people saying? Dirk. Gavin Harrison. Somebody says Gavin Harrison.
Yeah. Again, totally could pull it off, but about
what about
personalities.
Lars Ulrich could probably pull it
from
off.
Metallica.
Yeah, good old Lars. Travis Barker, come on.
No, come on.
Good old Trav. Any relations? Sean Kinney, Dave Grohl. It's interesting to see, and I want to say this with the utmost respect. The utmost respect is that there's a lot of non-drummers that are big fans of Rush, let's say, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So when I see a lot of people like in the comments saying that Marco Minimum for sure, actually, yeah. When I see people say like Dave Grohl could pull out Neil Peart, I love Dave Grohl to pieces, but no, sadly, he's not the same ilk, right? When I think of somebody said it'd be cool if they got Sean Kinney from Alice in Chains, that's obviously a comment from somebody who's a big fan of Alice in Chains.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Sean Kinney, no, sadly, no.
Yeah.
Roger Taylor couldn't pull it off, sadly. Bill Bruford. No. Oh wow, Bill Bruford would be interesting, actually.
For the hangability factor, that's actually really good.
He yelled at me once during a clinic. He yelled at me. You know about that? Yeah.
I think they would. I think Geddy and Alex. See, and again, I think this comes down to, that Geddy and Alex would have to get along with this person, like as well as they got along with Neil. And let's face it, Neil was their brother of 45, 50 years.
Correct. Yeah.
So that even the reasons behind doing it are because Neil or Geddy and Alex have mentioned they'd like to keep going.
Dude, I have my number one.
What's your number one?
It's somebody just commented it there.
What's that? I can't see it.
Todd Zuckerman.
Interesting.
He would be my number one choice. Wow. I'd never considered Todd, but I'm now considering Todd.
Totally do it. Todd could totally do it. And
yeah,
I know that chemistry with him and Alex and Geddy would be amazing. They would be, they would be like buddies. Oh, totally, they would be buddies.
Yeah, so that's my number one. Wow, and I'd never considered Todd.
But
Todd's
gig with Styx is like it's pretty thick.
I'm done with this whole Styx situation for the moment. I've got a tour with a mega crazy band that's only really known in Canada.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Also, too, you have to consider the age of the drummer. Like, the reason Neil was done in 2015 was the demand on his body.
Well, true.
For those parts. I mean, dude, he put in a full fucking shift. And then
3 hours minimum. Yes.
Right. Since when did they start playing? The 70s. That's been his gig. And I mean, Neil used to bike between gigs. So
yes.
The guy was not in bad shape at all. He was in great shape.
El Estapiro. You know El Estapiro.
Oh, I know him from my other talking point.
Oh, do you?
Another little band that's looking for a drummer. Well,
if we're talking about age, like you just were, he's young.
He's very young.
I don't know how young he is, but Danny Carey of Tool or Lombardo. What do you think?
Yeah.
Danny Carey is good, but he's very good. I don't know how to say this without sounding disrespectful. What I love about Danny Carey's drumming is that it's like target practice. Everything, like he looks like a football player playing drums.
Massive boy, yeah.
Right. He hits everything perfectly every single time. And he plays it accurately. Good. Like it looks like he's physically hitting drums.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got the finesse. Oh, I want to say this so tactfully, but the finesse
I agree.
that Rush requires.
Yeah.
Although the Pot is a really good example of his hi-hat.
He's got the technical proficiencies. He knows exactly. He could play those things blindfolded. But you're right. It's like explaining how Bonham played. Well, it sounded like you were tearing down a house.
Yeah.
In a really, really real beautiful fashion. But unlike, say, someone of the era like Keith Moon, who was complete psychosis.
Yeah.
So
by the way, sorry, I want to address this 100%. I feel that.
I've heard those rumors.
Oh man, because
rumors abound.
Again, not to replace Neil, but to celebrate. Of course, exactly. Okay, good.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going with this on the premise of other bands have replaced major. Just Freddie Mercury, number one. The fact that Queen went out without him, is like, so we're not sacrilege here.
No,
I know drummers take ownership of Rush because it's like that's our band, but there's other people that were not drummers that love Rush that would love to see them out again. And all we're saying is both Geddy and Alex have alluded to the fact that they would not take it off the table. And we're just talking about who could do that if they decided who could do it. And obviously Mike Mangini's in the lead. And
then Todd Zuckerman is very much right next to it.
Like he's
maybe Steve Smith.
He's not gonna. No, Steve Smith will never get it.
But Todd for sure. Todd Zuckerman.
Sure. Todd Zuckerman.
Wait a minute. Was there any more on my list here? Hold on. I want to see. Shoot, I think I closed it, but that's okay.
Yeah, the Slipknot thing. I've heard about the Instagram guy El Sabor.
Yeah, El Stapiro.
Now,
Estapiro.
The thing about that though is, and I'll say this is kind of the Carmine Appice syndrome.
Yes.
The reason Carmine didn't make it in the Aussie band was he insisted on, and in meetings with Sharon, that he have his own logo on the front of his kick drum.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And Sharon's like, well, it's not the Carmine Appice show. It's this fucking Ozzy Osbourne show.
Spoilers, it's not. Yeah.
So that consequently didn't make the cut on the next tour.
Yes.
So El Sabor, I think, has a massive following. I think could probably start a band tomorrow and fill seats, no problem.
Yep.
So I wonder about, you know what I mean?
I got another
going into a band like Slipknot, where there would be a lot. This is a don't get this wrong. Slipknot is a massive band. They're a corporate entity.
Yes.
There are rules. I mean, it's a corporate box.
Yep.
I just wonder if an Instagram guy who's had all kinds of freedom, and then it's like, now I'm part of the team, I'm not the main guy.
I'm always skeptical for a second, just in regards to like Instagram, like social media drummers or social media musicians. I heard a rumor a long time ago, whether it's true or not is interesting to me, that to harken back to Primus again, weirdly enough, Primus, Les Claypool learned how to play bass just in his bedroom, and he just kind of played, right?
Yeah.
And it takes a lot for people to be like to learn how to play in a band is very different than just learning how to play your instrument, right?
Yes,
the communication, the heads up, the working as a team, all those situations, right?
Yep.
And I don't know El Estapiro, he's a great drummer, but awesome. we've never seen footage of him playing in bands with other people.
No.
So I can't speak on behalf of like how well is his heads up playing and how well is. But with that being said, you don't get that good by not necessarily celebrating that, or I don't know.
And again,
right?
Like, it's not to say he couldn't perform a whole show. I'm sure he could. He looks like he's in amazing shape, and it's not necessarily just the physicality of it; it's the demand of touring. The demand of touring is pretty heavy. Like, yes, at Slipknot's level, you're doing it in luxury, you're staying in beautiful hotels, but it's still, I mean, it takes a fuck ton out of you. And you know, it's like, and then there's also like there's contractual commitments. True. There's photo shoots, you've got to play, like, again, Mangini's transfer into Dream Theater was he understood the whole picture was, I'm now a part of you, I now belong to you, I'm now committed to this. It's not just like I'm Mike Mangini and I play with Dream Theater. It's like, no, you're our drummer. Right?
Yeah, that's a massive change. Yes, I feel
that's a big thing. That's a big thing. And then I don't know, like, when you're a massive social media star, all the power to you, but does that translate into being and for lack of a better word, the minion on, and the new guy in a band that's been around and was like, has been proven and tried, and like, you know, these guys are big.
Yes,
that's a big ask. That's just a huge ask.
It requires humbleness, big time humbleness.
Total
right?
humbleness. Total humbleness.
Who would be just to harken to what Ver was saying here? Side note: ChatGPT always puts Mike Portnoy inconsistent.
Yeah.
Being adaptable to Neil's drumming. Okay, well, hold on.
Yes, that's a good point because he is, and he did so they did a little tribute to Neil, and he did actually do 2112 with them.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Let me do.
Yeah, he did. They did a little tribute, and like Dave Grohl, Dave Grohl, a couple other drummers, and Mike Portnoy came out and did something.
Hold on a second. Boopity boop. Hold on. I'm gonna do something really quick here.
I kind of can't wait for all the hate mail from the Neil Peart lovers, or Peart, sorry,
Peart,
and myself being a huge Neil fan. I count myself as one of those. I might send myself a nasty email. How awesome. How fucking dare you?
That's amazing. Look for Saratoga in YouTube. That's Al's band before playing solo. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, whole other situation. Well, I was just going to do this real quick. There we go. I had to log in.
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. Nice. Let's see what it says. Who would be the best replacement for Neil Peart in Rush? Boom. Replacing a legend like Neil Peart is an incredibly challenging task. However, let's go to the bottom. However, there's been a hypothetical replacement. It need to be someone like distinct style and understanding the band's legacy. Drummers like Mike Portnoy, Danny Carey, or Gavin Harrison has been mentioned in discussions due for their technical prowess and creative abilities. Yet, it's important to acknowledge that finding someone to truly fill Neil Peart's shoes would be nearly impossible.
Yeah. Well,
who would be the best drummer for the Beatles if they got back together? Question mark.
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith easily. Let's see. Doesn't actually say. Oh, that's really funny. Perhaps someone like Dave Grohl could bring both skill and deep understanding.
Actually, Dave and Paul are very good friends.
Oh, really? Ultimately, though, part of the Beatles' magic was their original. Oh, that's sad. ChatGPT let me down on this situation.
ChatGPT is not always on the ball there.
Because there was a band that sounded like the Beatles and Rush mixed together, who would be the drummer? Let's see.
Todd Zuckerman.
Yeah, 100%. Drummers like Stuart Copeland or Phil Collins. Phil Collins.
Yeah, total. Yeah, because Genesis was a prog band, for sure.
Someone who could balance Ringo Starr's with Neil Peart's technical proficiency. Both Copeland and Collins have showcased the ability to navigate between straightforward rhythms and more complex progressive styles that complement the Beatlesque melodies and the Rush-inspired intricacies.
That's very astute. That's actually really, really quite intelligent sort of balance, right?
It's ChatGPT, in case you're wondering. Thanks.
Yeah. I would. The test would be who could replace David Lee Roth in Van Halen, and if it comes up with the same Hagar, you know it's real.
Well, who would replace Van Halen in Van Halen?
Exactly. So there's been that discussion too that Wolfie could step out. But I
Satch. Come on, Satch.
I think Wolfie would have to do it. It would have to be Wolfgang.
There's a legacy that needs to happen, like Jason Bonham.
So I don't know if you saw the big interview with Dan Rather, and he interviewed Robert Plant about that, why just the one show in the O2 Arena.
Yeah.
And I mean, Plant has maintained Led Zeppelin was a 4-piece band that consisted of the 4 guys, and once John died, that was it.
Done. Yeah.
He said, I know there are drummers that could have done it, that should have done it, that would have. Cozy Powell was being touted at the time. Jimmy wanted to keep going, and they were going to bring in Cozy Powell. And Robert said, I'm not going on stages at Led Zeppelin without John. Wow. It's just that. That's all it is for me. And he said, I know there are a ton of other drummers that could have done it, but it was not a band that I wanted to pursue without the 4 members we had.
They're also living off that sweet Godzilla soundtrack licensing, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Kanye.
Well, I mean, and I think also
Puff Daddy soundtrack, and they've lived a legacy much like the Beatles. God love the Beatles. I'm not a fan of the Beatles, but ... But I think that there's a point when you can literally just go, I'm gonna take a little breather and build a spice rack. Like I'm good to go.
Yeah,
I'm not Thank you.
I still have it.
I'm not a Beatles fan, but
ask your question.
Those guys, Paul, you can relax a bit. Just take a breather. You're good.
Well, and
Ringo,
the other part
you don't need to do any more Thomas the Tank Engine. You're good to go. Relax.
He made so much money from that.
I know, but he doesn't need to. He can just relax now.
Of all the Beatles, he was the smartest one. He went and made that fucking television money. And now,
so
like the royalties he collects for being on that fucking show.
I know, yeah.
Dude, yeah. Paul's going to have 16 number 1 hits.
Yep.
To get that kind of money. I mean, I know Paul's the richest, but he's got lots of investments, so
that's really the deal. So no, they can just relax. They can build a spice rack and just live in a home. They're fine. Don't worry about it.
They're good. They're good.
They're good. Yeah. But people just don't know how to relax, and maybe that's the deal with Rush. God love Rush, obviously. Yeah. But maybe they can just take a little breather. They can relax a bit.
I know, but you know what? And I think part of it is that Geddy and Alex love so much to be out there and to be playing, and who knows? Like Geddy may down the line, like I mean, they're both in their 70s now.
Yes,
they may say, you know what? Yeah, we thought about it. It's been 2 years since we've said that, and I think I'm pretty good now. I don't know that I want to go out and tour.
He's going to invest in tequilas,
right? Exactly. I think the fact that they've said they're interested in playing more, is telling. Number one,
yes.
I'm not saying they couldn't go out as a duo and do like the acoustic thing and still have it would be okay. I don't think they would get arena shows. I think it would be soft seaters.
Can I be forward and say something that's controversial?
Of course, this is the controversy hour.
This is the controversy. I'm not a Rush fan, but ... people went to Rush shows to watch Neil.
Yeah. Oh,
full stop. Full stop.
Watch. Yeah. No, I'm not. Right? I'm not discounting that.
You listen to Geddy. Yeah, absolutely. But you also acknowledge that behind Geddy is a whole bunch of rotisserie chickens. Cool.
Yes.
Or a whole bunch of washing machines. Great.
Yeah.
But when you go to a Rush concert, every eye is on Neil Peart throughout the entire night. So if it's just Geddy and Alex, then I don't know if you would get the same people coming out.
I think you would again.
And I love them. I'm watching.
If it came down to the fact that Alex, I think it would come down to what Alex and Geddy would like to do.
Yeah.
And I think if they said, you know what, no, we just don't have the heart to continue on without him, and we're going to do our own little sort of duo
podcast. They should create a podcast.
Yeah, podcast, or just go out and do like soft seaters as an acoustic duo and like relive some memories, have some humor, because they're both, let's face it, both guys are funny as fuck.
True.
Like, I don't know if you saw the Steam what was it? It was in Cleveland concert, and the vignettes they had in the beginning of that concert, they had them as an Oopapa band.
Oh,
going back to like Geddy's childhood, and like they had characters playing each of them as a polka Rush, and they did like Limelight. But so fun. I will say you could package something with Geddy and Alex that would be fucking hilarious, because both of them are so funny, with partnered with some memories of Neil,
Yes.
and them playing some acoustic numbers as stripped down Rush songs, or even maybe new songs they've written.
Yes.
And that I would go see that. I would go see that in a heartbeat.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I feel like the way that Getty sort of was saying it, and let's be honest, in this new day and age, there are no more of the we're not going to go on without John Bonham. Like all those bands are gone. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to break
people are dying.
Yeah. I mean, the Rolling Stones went on without Charlie Watts. Let's just fucking say that.
Who was drumming for the Stones now that I think
Steve
about
Jordan.
it? Was it Steve? Yeah, okay, perfect. Wait. Yeah. Sorry, I should have known that. I'm sorry.
So
Steve's one of my biggest guess.
I mean, if anyone was going to replace Charlie, it's Steve.
Agreed.
And
Steve.
And again, it's like we're in a different day. We're in a different day and age. People are going to go on regardless. Like they really are. The Stones are not going to stop until fucking Mick's dead. Like, let's just be honest about it.
That's a good point. Which is,
by the way, it is.
Spoilers, never.
Right? He's not.
He's
already dead. He's just an avatar.
He will never die. Never
die. So people can get like all pissy and finicky and say, "Oh, that's disrespectful." Yeah, but you know what? When they know how much fucking money they can go out and make, again with Queen, Freddie Mercury was Queen. Like everyone, the average person, name someone in Queen. Freddie Mercury.
Roger
you
Taylor.
Won't know any of their fucking names, right?
Yeah,
like
true.
They just won't. So
Joe Queen,
right? So they went out. They were out with him with Roger not too long after Freddie died.
True.
Sorry, they were filling
with Adam Lambert. Yeah.
And so no, but the bad.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
They were out with him, Paul Rogers. They were out with him, not too fucking. And then on top of that, they were seriously considering having George Michael be their new lead singer after the Freddie benefit. They were seriously talking about it, and George was on board because of that. The Sony deal he had him as a slave for the next 99 years, and he was like, "Fuck it, I could go out with Queen and make some real fucking money here."
Interesting, yes,
and be the new singer for Queen. So that was, and it was actually apparently something in George's contract that prevented him from going out with Queen. Otherwise, you would have seen George Michael out with Queen, and that would have been just as big a band, in my opinion. Like,
do you go see bands because of the people? Oh, how do I clarify this? Like,
right? Yeah, exactly. That's what.
Do you go for the? How about this? I know Kiss was just on tour, right? And apparently they slayed. Did you see them?
I paid the pay-per-view for their last show.
Okay.
Sorry, dude.
You viewed it paperly.
I watched the last show at the Madison Square Gardens. Yeah.
Okay. So I know that their shows, I've never seen them live.
Yeah. I've seen them once.
I'll say this. It's a quote that I'm notorious for. I'm not a Kiss fan, but they slay every one of their songs. I would never at any point wake up in the morning and go, I feel like I'm listening to Kiss right now. Would never happen. Zero would that ever happen to me. But when a Kiss song is on, I'm like, damn, these guys know how to rock. So I've always wanted to see them live just so that I can be like in amongst the humans that love Kiss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And I didn't think I appreciated it. I've talked about this previously on streams. I was not a Rush fan at all until I saw them live and looked around the arena, including the guy that I went to the show with, and everybody sang every word. Everybody was singing it crazy, and it was like, "Oh yeah, these are the people! Holy shit!"
Yeah.
And then when I saw Queen live, I'm a big Queen fan. I was the person singing so vividly and loudly that I hoped that somebody in front of me was like, "Oh my God, these are Queen fans." I was the example of Queen fans.
Yeah.
And I felt that about Kiss, that being amongst the people of the fans of the music, is that as important or more important than the people that are performing the music?
Yeah. I would say for me as a Rush fan, and my wife is also a Rush fan, although she never grew up on Rush.
Yes.
I don't just like Neil. I like Neil for other reasons. And I'll even say this: when I did listen to the Burning for Buddy CD, and I watched Neil's performance,
we don't talk about that. That's like the Christmas special for Star Wars. You don't talk about that.
Neil should have stayed in his sweet spot. Yep. Let's just say that. So I think that I wasn't necessarily going to see Rush just for Neil. In fact, a lot of the times when I went to see them in Regina, I watched Alex most of the time.
Did you really? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I could kind of see I could kind of see Neil when he came on screen. Of course, I could see him, but it wasn't. I mean, I also knew so much about Neil and how he played, and I've seen those videos. But what I was just blown away by was Alex's contributions to the band that go so unnoticed. How much harmony work, how hard he works to fill out all the melodic spaces with his pedals. Like, people think Jimmy Page is a god or Jack Black is amazing with his pedal board. No, go watch Alex Lifeson for 5 fucking minutes. The guy does the equivalent of what Neil did on the drums, on the guitar, and Geddy does the equivalent between the bass and the fucking keyboards and singing, as what they all were doing, such double duty. So to me, it was like going to see. That was probably one of the only bands I would say I went to see just to see all three. I wasn't necessarily interested in just Neil, but I do know that there are probably people that would not want to go see Rush without Neil.
Right.
I accept that. The same as I don't know. Maybe there wouldn't be someone who wouldn't want to go to see the Stones without Charlie Watts. It's not. It's not the same. It's just not the same. It's a different thing.
I don't know if he's got the same weight though. We talked about. By the way, I'm hearing everything you're saying, and it's resonating.
Man, for 60 years, man.
I agree, but was he the linchpin in never seeing the Stones again? No, Mick. Mick is the reason you go see it. Mick and Keith Richards. Like, you're going to see them. You're going to see it for that. I'll be honest. I don't even know who the bass player is. Who's the bass player of that band?
Daryl Jones.
Cool. No idea. Yeah. Nobody knows. Is there a keyboard player in that band too?
Yeah, they're
I don't know his name.
Backstage guys.
Big nobody. I don't know who they are. Charlie Watts, okay. Because he's a jazz drummer. He's a jazz drummer.
But I'll throw it out there. Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury was Queen.
Yeah, but everybody had these, like, everybody was poster worthy. Everybody was poster worthy. Roger Taylor had his flowing blonde hair, and he was just like Def Leppard, just like Bon Jovi.
You could have replaced any of those guys, and it was Freddie's voice. That's what made Queen Queen.
Well, I would agree with that. Yeah,
yeah. I would say, to say that as a compliment to Neil is replacing Neil would be like replacing Freddie for Queen. I think that's the gravity at which
it's got to be celebratory.
Well, of course, it's going to be celebratory.
I feel that.
Yeah.
But just have Dave Grohl.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like one of those like weekend trysts when you were single and you're like, yeah, this is gonna be a train wreck, but at least I'm getting some.
Yeah. Oh my god. But then there's the old Vinnie Calutas that are just drinking a beer while they're playing some Rush. That was actually on the list. Vinnie Caluta, actually.
Well, there are many that could do it. Don't get me wrong. There are many that could do it. But again, I would say, and I'm just going off of
that's good.
Reading what how Geddy said that him and Alex were still interested in continuing in some way, shape, or form, and that they feel like now is the time they could do it. That they've waited an appropriate amount of time. I could see them wanting, like, you took that long, and again, because what he said out in brutal honesty, and I think he even told this to Strombolopoulos, when Neil retired in 2015, 3 years before his diagnosis, Geddy didn't want to stop. Geddy wasn't ready to stop. He said,
"Why can't people just stop? Do they need a newspaper across the nose? Just, hey, stop."
Well, it's I don't know. It's like saying to Picasso, you can't paint anymore.
And he's like, "Oh, really? Oh my God, that's amazing. Thank you.
Oh no,
I'm going to relax.
He would have painted.
I can build a spice rack now. I'm in."
Well, so it would probably be like saying to you, okay, PJ,
yeah,
you can't do any sort of podcast anymore. You're done.
Oh, I'd be like, oh my God, that's amazing. So I get to literally just sit on my couch and just scroll TikTok on my phone all day now. I'm in. How do I go about doing that?
Okay, bad example. You can't what? You can't drone anymore.
That's so sad. Quick side to that. Did you know I broke my nose? Did you know I broke my nose?
I did.
Yeah.
I guessed when I saw your picture, I was like, what's that? Why does Paul's? Because I broke my nose too. I don't know if you can tell.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. That's why my nose goes crooked.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you're actually like when you look, I have to sit like that in order for my nose.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have to do this. Yeah.
I had it straightened. I had mine straightened.
No, I didn't. I should have. I did when I was young.
Quick side to all of this. Oh my God, I can't believe we're going to talk about this, but we're going to get it out of the way.
We have to.
Only because you brought it up.
We have to.
Do you know how it happened?
How you broke your nose?
Yep.
I have a guess.
Would you like to guess?
I'm gonna guess that a fucking drone hit you in the face.
No.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no. I'm becoming.
Yeah. In my head, that was a better story.
That's a way better story,
because I thought you had the goggles on and you flew the drone into your face, and you're like, "Wait, what? Whoa!"
No, this story, and I can't believe we're going to talk about this on stream, but I will. Right, I have no problem because I want to be the face of this movement. Are you ready? Gotcha. Anybody who's hearing my voice right now, this is the voice of a man that got lowered hard, and I'll stand on the soapbox. You ready?
Yep.
When you're in the bathroom, don't push too hard, or you might faint and wake up on the bathroom floor in a pool of blood.
Oh, fuck, that's better than I even could have imagined.
100%. You're gonna think about me till the end of time. Yes. When you push, when you're just like, and then you're like, relax. That's when I went boom and woke up on the floor. Okay. So to everybody here, number one, eat.
You Elvised yourself?
I Elvised myself 100%. That's been the reference for the past month. I Elvised myself.
Because in the post-mortem, they did note that his nose was broken. Did you know that?
Yes. Okay. Trust me, I've had lots of people reminding me for the past month. Don't push too hard. You might faint and wake up on the bathroom floor. So did this happen? 100% this happened. Yes. Did I have to go to the hospital that night? Yes, I did. It was brutal. It was very scary. As a matter of fact, it was brutal.
Yeah, I'm not trying to demean your.
Sure. Yeah.
So did they check out your head and everything as to why?
A little bit of a concussion, but no, it was just my blood pressure lowered. Just because when you push, you're like, oh, and then when you relax, you're like, oh.
Yeah,
and then it just fell.
Yeah.
So that happened directly after. So nobody, whoever's hearing my voice right now, do not. Even it was like a short little 10-seconder little push scheme. Yeah. And brutal. Anyways, my point is, broke my nose. I have sleep apnea, as you may or may not know.
I know.
And I couldn't put my mask over my nose because I had a splint.
Oh, right. Right. Yeah. Wow.
So I couldn't sleep for 6 days straight, minimum. Like it was like 2 weeks. Couldn't sleep at all. But to harken back to the first thing you said, I couldn't drone because my FPV goggles would go over top of my nose. So for a month, I couldn't fly my drone at all.
Right. And that's the part that hurt you most.
It hurt me the most, yeah. Other than my ego, but
not the sleep.
I have no problem admitting to absolutely everybody how it happened. No problem. I will be the face of that till the end of time. I will tell everybody about it.
You're gonna have to be. It's on video now.
Yeah, now it is. Yeah, I told everybody on the Retrologist stream. Everybody knows what happened.
Excellent.
Yeah. So that's how it happens. Don't push too hard in the toilet. But I guess my point is, I couldn't drone. I couldn't do any of that. So for a month, none of that. Yeah. I'm just kind of like literally scrolling TikTok for the past month or We did some live streams with rhetorologists, but I've been so like injured that I haven't been able to do what I love to do. Yeah. Right. And there's such a challenge with that. Right.
Yeah. I have a friend who will remain nameless.
Yeah.
Who he did what you did, but he was pushing not for the reasons you were pushing. He was
pregnant,
pushing other things out, and he.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So he, upon the moment where he didn't die, but you could say he came and went at the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But the problem was compounded by the fact that he wasn't pushing anything on top of his wife. It was someone else.
Oh.
So he mangled a part of his face that it was very obvious something had happened to him.
Oh no.
And not his nose. I think it was his eye or black eye or something. He had to make up a story.
Yep.
And then I heard about it 2 years later. He goes in a really drunken state. Yeah. And he calls me, Mitch, come here. You remember that time I got the black eye? And then he told me the real story, and I was like,
yes, holy little baby Jesus.
Oh my God. And then, and I mean, subsequently now he's not with that woman, but at the time it was.
Yep.
Just what do you say here?
You don't. Yeah, exactly. Dude, it's horrendous.
What?
I've got this thing. By the way, we're talking personally now. We're off the topic of Rush. By the way, are we in wind down? We're in wind down now. Yes,
probably should be. Yeah.
Let's be. We're in wind down.
We don't care that much about who's going to get the Slipknot gig.
No, that's a good point. Actually,
no, probably not.
No.
El Sabor, I think, was one of the front runners, but I don't think he's going to get the gig.
He might for the sake of marketing, but I don't know.
They don't need marketing. I don't think they need marketing. They had Jay Weinberg's son drumming for them. They don't need marketing.
They had Max Weinberg's son. Max Weinberg.
Or Jay is his name. Max.
That's
Weinberg.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, like they had two of the Joey Jordison who actually formed the band.
That's right.
And then Jay Weinberg.
Yep.
So whoever is stepping in next there's been talk of them hiring Maytal.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I could hear that.
That would be very, very interesting.
Did you get Aaron Edgar?
Aaron Edgar would be a great. Right. Aaron would be a wonderful. Yes.
Right. I wonder in my opinion, he's kind of the I forget his name now.
And he would be a team guy. Like he's I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. I'm your drummer now.
I think the problem with Aaron, and I love Aaron,
does
by the
he
way.
Have the speed though? Could he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aaron is one of the most underrated drummers.
Okay.
He is basically the L caliber. But the problem with Aaron is that his marketing, he just he lays under the radar. He kind of does his thing and he does Drumeo stuff. Awesome. He creates his own content. He's been writing books. He's been doing videos. Yeah. He's got his own projects that he's been doing. Cool. Yeah. But if he were to elevate himself, a third Ion. If he were to elevate himself and just have somebody be an ambassador for him, he would destroy because he's a highly underrated drummer. Highly underrated.
And you know what, too? They could pay him less because he's like a Canadian.
Yeah, you pay him half the amount.
Half the amount.
You're Canadian? Oh, you're not worth. Oh, that's right. Canadian dollars to American dollars. The same thing.
You know, that's actually that I've got the same feeling as I did with Gary Cherone and with Mike Mangini. So I think, let's put this out there. I think Aaron Edgar.
I love it.
Could do the Slipknot gig. I why not?
Aaron Edgar would destroy the Slipknot gig.
He would be perfect for Slipknot. And the mask, I mean, Aaron's mask would be something. He would be into something like that completely. It would be some kind of crazy. And Aaron could come up with the symbol too, right? Like he could come up with his own mask. That's who this guy is.
Oh, Aaron.
And the thing with Aaron is like Joey and Jay were good. I mean, their fitness was amazing.
Yes.
Slipknot could get into this thing because Aaron is his understanding of complex time signatures now could take them into something completely different. Like you're talking like a a way elevated corn.
Yeah.
Right? Like
corn.
Like a
Yep.
Speed, like corn on speed.
Man, speed corn.
Speed corn.
I agree with you.
Aaron Edgar for Slipknot.
Aaron Edgar for Slipknot. How do we start that campaign?
Mike Mangini for Rush. Aaron Edgar for Slipknot. Steve Smith for the Beatles.
The Beatles. Jesus. The Beatles. Yes, that's what we do. Steve Smith, Beatles. Aaron Edgar, Slipknot, and Todd Zuckerman, Rush. That's my go-tos.
Mike Mangini, Rush for me.
Yeah, but Todd Zuckerman.
We're divided here.
Yeah, but definitely Aaron for Slipknot.
For Slipknot, right? And the beautiful thing is he's not a well-known guy in those circles necessarily. So
true.
He's a
damn Aaron Edgar.
He's like the dark horse that people are like, who is this cat?
People would be like
Edgar.
He would destroy. Oh my god, I love Aaron so much. He's one of my favorite people.
Well,
plus he makes a mean coffee as well.
Does he?
Oh yeah.
We did that. We did one of our podcasts with him.
We did, absolutely we did. Yeah. Good old Aaron.
And no, I think this is PJ, we've actually got to start this campaign for him.
Aaron Edgar for Slipknot.
Yeah. We should go public with that hashtag.
How do we do that?
Well, you've probably got more of the followers than I do as far as like.
I'll clip this.
Yeah, clip it. And start it.
Aaron Edgar for Slipknot.
Yep. And get on it, because I hope they didn't already pick someone and make a mistake and
they regret it.
Then they regret it.
Well, they'll do a one night stand with Jason Bonham, and then they're like, "What do we do? Oh no,
shit!
Damn, we're stuck with."
Bonham says he won't wear the mask.
Yeah, we're stuck with him now. What do we do? The Slipknot.
So Slipknot's smart like that, right? Because the mask is like with the Kiss makeup, right?
Yes.
When Eric Carr got the gig, they had to figure out a makeup to put on him. Right?
Oh yeah.
Peter Criss had the cat makeup.
He's the cat boy.
Now they just have Eric Singer and Tommy Thayer wear the makeup that Gene and Paul own.
Yeah.
And then
just for you.
Oh, there we go.
7 drummers that could join Slipknot, which sadly none of them are probably Aaron Edgar. But let's see. He's actually there. Kareem Letcher. I don't know him.
Yeah, I've heard of him, but I'm not familiar with him though.
Jeremy Kling. I don't know Jeremy Kling. Oh,
they're going off so many people who've done Slipknot covers.
That's true. Yeah, I think that's probably what it is.
The problem with that is that.
Oh, like no. Okay, no. Madel Corin. Madel.
Yeah, Madel is yeah.
Simon Vended. No,
none of these people are Aaron Edgar.
No, right? Aaron
like,
would destroy.
Aaron, this is Aaron's gig, dude. Like, I'm not even joking. We're talking Slipknot who've done the speed things, but then, and I'm not taking away from Jay or
no, for sure.
But the language Aaron speaks dramatically, the odd time signatures, mixed with the speed.
Yeah,
I mean, fuck, maybe Aaron could do both Slipknot and Rush.
He should just do both. How do we get him just to do both?
Just both. And he's a good Canadian guy, so both bands would get along with him.
Let's just get him doing both.
I'm really glad my channel's not popular. I would be getting so much fucking hate mail right now.
This is so good.
Much. I may even just pen myself a nasty note saying, "Who the fuck do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?" Okay, we're in wind down. How do we? Am I treating this the same as a Retrologist stream?
I think we have a wind down thing.
Got a wind down.
It's not a ticker, but yeah, there we go. We should make it as a ticker though.
No, we're fine. We're good. Okay, wind down, boys. Okay, well, we talked about a lot today. Let's round her up here. We talked about Spice Racks. We talked about Rush. We talked about Slipknot. We talked about pushing your deuce.
Or not push your deuce.
Don't push your deuce.
No.
We're talking about a lot of things today.
I have to say, if ever I have to push, I back right off and I just go eat bran flakes.
Yeah. Think about me. Yeah. Think about me. I've had people over the past month texting me while they're on the shitter and actually been like, I'm thinking about you right now. I'm not pushing too hard. Don't do it.
I heard a story. Well, I gotta be honest. I heard a story one time about a woman who was it wasn't a poop story, but it was a woman who was in the adult entertainment industry.
Sure.
And got a little too comfortable with a certain type of and the guy she took on was a little too big, and that she got torn.
Oh, Bertle.
And when I heard that story, I was like, it was like, if I ever have to push like that,
yes to all that.
Oh no, I'm not gonna do.
We're not doing.
Would never want to tear something down there. Like
your blood pressure, just everything about it is just a bad idea. So in the very, very end, you know what we should do? We should probably get somebody who can talk about health. Well, we had
Nadia.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're right. We should that would be a really interesting. Because I've had the idea for the drummer for Queen City Kids is now an audiologist. So
interesting. Yeah,
there's one. Yeah. But I'm thinking like someone who's around like to do with like overall health, maybe a medical doctor who has drumming experience would be interesting too. Because
I actually have somebody in mind on Instagram. I'll send you their information. Yeah, it's actually very good. Cool. Yeah. In regards to posture.
I've always really liked the idea of Off the Throne being something about drumming, but not necessarily the art of drumming.
True.
It's the everything around it. And if they're a drummer, even better. Like there's a guy that
I fell off the throne, ironically.
You fell off of the throne.
Yeah, I fell to the ground off the throne.
That's so fucking good. There's so many people I can't wait to tell that story.
Please, I hope you tell everybody about it.
Well, it's just my wife more than anything, but
tell your kids too. Don't push.
Jagger would look at me.
Nobody cares.
Fire truck.
Dinosaur.
What was I going to say? Oh, there's a guy named Kurt. I actually have asked him to be on the show, but around entertainment, music, business, and law. Kurt is a lawyer. Yeah. He hasn't responded yet, and I'm not sure if he's just not interested. But
that makes sense.
And if not, Kurt,
we got to build this up a little bit more. But
Paul, a friend of mine, Paul.
You have a friend?
Who actually, he knew Dom. Incidentally, Paul was good friends with Dom.
We didn't get to talk about Dom, but yes, cool.
We didn't talk about Dom, but I kind of felt like we could do that another time and maybe bring in some guests and share some stories, because that was a pretty sad day.
Well, let's do that.
Yeah, I think. Okay. I actually wouldn't. Speaking to that, just real quick. I've never met Charmaine, but I've always wanted to like meet her and just say like, I mean, I'm sure hundreds of drummers have said this to you, but like your husband was such a big influence on my life, and I just wanted to say hello. But I think it would be interesting to interview her about, like, what has life been like? What was life like?
I'm interested in like brother type situation or like relatives. Like,
he's got a son, his namesake Dom Jr.
But let's talk about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm cool with all that. We talked about some cool stuff today.
We did, and Ver joined us from the Philippines.
Thanks,
and then those really nice fellas that want to take our credit cards and give us some good services for those credit cards.
They're so nice.
Sorry to bother you.
Yeah, sorry. Offended. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, dude. We got wind her down. We're good.
Yeah.
Got nothing else.
Yeah. Done as much damage as we're gonna do.
We created some controversy. Controversy, I think, is the term.
I think we got to do the hashtag Aaron Edgar for Slipknot.
Aaron Edgar for Slipknot.
Do the
we'll clip this.
Aaron Edgar for Slipknot.
Yeah.
Yep.
FORE. Okay.
Oh, wait, no, do the number 4.
True.
Because they name themselves numbers, right? That's part of their thing.
It's like Fan 4 stick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I might as well just end the stream.
Well, I was just going to say I'm going to pull it up right now. Okay, well then, shoot.
Well, you pull it out.
No, I'm not going to do that.
You're going to put do we put a slate up or anything? I don't forget what we did. There we go.
I don't know what we can do.
Should we do a slate? Anyways. Should do a slate just for the sake of, oh, wait, there was a...
Yeah.
Good
Thanks,
talk,
dude.
guys. Oh,
that was a lot of fun. It was good to hang out. We do this...
Burr left us a comment, though.
Thanks. I've shared your live to all the drum-related pages here in Pornhub. Looking forward to your next live session. Wait.
Philippines, I think.
Philippines. Sorry. My mistake. Sorry.
Thanks. Okay.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate
it.
Thanks.
Oh, that's appropriate. It's copyright 2022.
You need to upgrade that.